Hello, welcome to EVTN News. We are the um, not the number one rated news channel, but well, when I say we, I mean myself and maybe my invisible friends, um, because it's me. So anyway, that's very besides the point. Very beside the point. I want to talk about just some of the news today or from this past week. There's not a whole lot, but we'll get started. So, Bishop Peter Shao Zhumin, I think I've talked about him on this channel before. He was arrested after refusing to pay a $27,000 fine for celebrating a mass attended by 200 faithful. His whereabouts and condition remain unknown as Chinese communist authorities escalate the persecution of underground Catholics. Shao, the underground church's bishop of the Diocese of Wenzhou, refused to pay the fine. The government authorities described his arrest as being for his safety, thus continuing the trend of a number of his previous arrests, including occasions when the police have described his arrests as being for tourism or vacation. According to Asia News, Shao's condition and location are unknown, and in the meantime, Chinese authorities have increased their preventative measures against the members of the underground church in the region. Okay, so this is one instance of the Vatican authorized state-run church and the actual Catholic underground church. And how long until we get to that in the rest of the world? Now, persecuting religious groups, I don't know that necessarily will be the case in a lot of countries. Fining them for holding illegal religious services, that doesn't seem like that will happen in a tremendous number of countries. But in China, the government definitely wants to have a say in the religious groups, and the Vatican approves of it. Well, the Francis Church does, but how long? But is the Francis Church the Catholic Church? That remains to be seen. And speaking of Francis, Francis Watch continues. The Francis bot went dark for a while, and as you know, the Francis bot is the people who are running the show while Francis is hospitalized. The Francis bot did not appoint a new bishop from, I guess it'd be Monday, this past Monday, until Saturday. The bot had appointed at least one bishop practically every day since Francis was hospitalized up until last Monday, and then the entire week. It went dark. And then the Francis bot appointed a bishop on Saturday. I think it was just one, and nothing Sunday or Monday. There are plenty of bishops that are over the age of 75, so we'll see what happens. Okay. And in somewhat related news, the Vatican says it will no longer post daily morning updates on how Francis spent the night. Maybe the Francis bot is tired of reporting that Francis followed up a peaceful night with a day full of rest and prayer. I don't think things are going so well, but the Vatican's reporting improvements, so who knows? Who really knows? Okay. Due to the immense interest in having some proof of life regarding Pope Francis, the Vatican has released a photo of Pope Francis, allegedly in the chapel next to his room. This morning, yesterday morning, Sunday, March 16th, as proof of life. The only problem is that it appears by all measures, it's a possibility that it could be an AI generated image. When people look at the right hand of Francis, it is extremely deformed and has only 2 fingers. The photo was released to the press as early as 6:48 p.m. Sunday night, whatever that, I don't know if that's Rome time or whatever. I would guess that is. Later that same evening, in a post backdated to 7 p.m., Vatican News published a story affirming the photo is released by the Vatican itself, but with the AI image cut so that the hand cannot be seen. So this article here from Rome, check it out in the description and see for yourself what you think. It assumes that the image is AI generated. Now I don't assume it. It looks reasonable except for the hand. Now AI, artificial intelligence, if you ever use an AI image generator, you will see that it has trouble with hands. It has trouble generating a picture of hands. It can generate a lot of other things, but like a lot of hands will have like different multiple fingers, or fingers like pointed the wrong directions, or fingers are very um, difficult generation for AI images. So you would definitely, if you work with AI, that would certainly make sense for you. So we'll see if that's true. Now, the Holy See press office announced on the evening of March 17th, they said the swelling in Francis's hand, seen in the photo taken and published yesterday, is due to decreased mobility, but it has already improved today. So nothing to see here. Move right along. It's completely normal, and it's improved. So there you go, typical Vatican. So there might be some credibility to the idea that the photo was AI, but it was taken from Francis's back. You can't even see his face, so I don't know. It just seems a little bit suspicious. Anyway, the Francis bot initiated a new phase of the synod. So the perpetual synod, and I've the eternal synod. This is what Francis hopes, is that synodality is permanent, and it's permanent as long as he is Pope. So after he is after there's a new Pope, then synodality is it's really really not going to be looking very good for synodality, let's just say. But Francis initiated a new phase. Well, the Francis bot initiated a new phase of the synod, approving a 3 years process of accompaniment to implement the synod's final document. So they're not done talking about synodality. No one has any idea what it is. It will culminate in an ecclesial assembly to be held at the Vatican on October 28. So more than 3 years away. What are the chances that that actually happens? So here's what they mapped out. So May of this year, publication of support document for the implementation phase, and then June of this year through December 26th, so a year and a half, implementation. Oh, this is interesting. Implementation in local churches. Well, if they want to hear our opinions, let them know. Okay. All right. So if they want to hear your opinions, let them know. And then let's see. So that's a year and a half. It's going to take a year and a half to implement the synod, while these parishes are actually trying to function. The Vatican's going to try to undermine it by heresy. And then October 25, this year, Jubilee of Synodal Teams. I don't know who's on the team, but I can say they are probably losing. Um, okay, the first half of 2027, so December, the implementation in local churches, and December 26th, sorry, implementation in local churches ends, so that's over a year and a half from now. And then the first half of 2027, evaluation assemblies and dioceses. Great, so more committees talking about heresy and basically how to destroy the church, which the church can't be destroyed, but the bishops and the synodalists are doing a great job of trying. Now, the second half of 27 is evaluation assemblies and national and international episcopal conferences. The first half of 2028, continental evaluation assemblies, and June 28, publication of the Instrumentum Laboris for the works of the Ecclesial Assembly in October 28, and October 28, Ecclesial Assembly in the Vatican. So it certainly appears to be a lot like Vatican III. It certainly appears to be the case that they're trying to do a third Vatican Council through this synod, and this timeline, though, doesn't work very well with the timeline of Francis. So I don't expect this to actually take place, but starting in June, there's supposed to be implementation. So May, there'll be a publication. That's 2 months away. Will Francis make it 2 more months? That's certainly an open question. But if he does, then I'm actually kind of interested to see how this implementation looks. Would it be, would it encourage LMNOP blessings, or blessings of LMNOP couples? That's possible. Would it encourage women deacons, or the invalid ordination of women? That's possible as well. And actually, let's see. There is a woman, and I've talked about her in one of my previous news segments. Her name is Barbara Velik Frank of Austria, and she is a so-called Episcopal Vicaress. She wears vestments. She wears like a stole at Mass. She's a supporter of women's ordination, and maybe they're looking to implement more pseudo women deacons. And I don't know. I guess May will bring about this publication of this new document by Cardinal Gretsch. And yeah, we'll see what that has in store. I mean, now that the Francis bot is running the show, there's a possibility it could be anything, and it could be very heretical. But people, I don't know, people need to pay attention to that story because they've been on Francis Watch, and maybe they're burned out from Francis Watch, and maybe they're not paying attention. So this is kind of a big story. I mean, it could be like their effort at a Vatican III. Now, I think we do need an ecumenical council, but usually church councils are convened to combat a heresy, and I think it's high time that the council is convened to combat the heresy of modernism, but we don't have the personnel to do it. I mean, you need guys like Bishop Schneider, Bishop Strickland, Cardinal Burke, Cardinal Sarah, heck, throw in Cardinal Rinze. Get some different perspectives there. And I mean, those guys have different perspectives, but I don't think anyone would really consider them heretics. So, bring the perspectives together, see what you can come up with, and but we don't have the personnel right now to, like, if the bishops and the cardinals would be called together to Rome, I think the result would be something absolutely catastrophic. So, pretty sad, but we do need we do need some kind of council to combat the errors of modernism, the heresy of modernism, but it's not going to happen anytime soon. So sad to say, but I don't know. Who knows? Things can change quickly. Okay, well, that is all I have for today. Not a lot of news this past week, and with at least around my area with the weather getting nicer, who knows? Um, I'll do my best to track the news and report it, but um, kind of spending less effort tracking the news really. So I've seen the photo, and I know that Return to Tradition says it's probably not AI. I didn't notice that there is no oxygen on him. You did. I think you meant to say you did notice. I noticed that too, actually. Um, Not to kind of steal your comment, but I did notice that there was no oxygen on him, and it's entirely possible they took the oxygen off of him for like the however long it took them to take the photo, but I thought that was a little bit odd because I'm pretty sure he's just constantly on some kind of oxygen. Now they do have like the tube that goes up your nose, that's in your nose a little bit. That's really what do you call it? Minimally invasive or something. Like probably. I mean, I'm sure it's uncomfortable a little bit, but I think it's probably minimally uncomfortable. Um, but I think he was wearing like a mask, like an oxygen mask, most of the time actually, and I don't think he's improved enough to be off of oxygen for any significant period of time. So, which is not good. I mean, you need to have um, suitable oxygen to even function, which it seems as though um, someone who's 80, how old is he? 87? Is that? I think he's around that age. Someone who's 87 who's laying in a hospital bed, not really doing anything. That's really bad. Like, yeah, that's really bad. Uh, he must have been allowed to have a break from the oxygen. So, well, return to tradition. So, I don't know. You can get some pretty good AI photos. I mean, it could be AI. I think it's questionable. Now, he did release the audio recording and he sounded horrible. I mean, did you guys hear the audio recording? What do you think about that? He uh he sounded like he was on a machine, some kind of machine, and he had to take pauses from speaking to breathe. So it sounds like he couldn't catch his breath. I mean, it's not good. It's really not good. So, I mean, you can be alive, but he's just not in a good 88. Okay. So 87, 88. He's up there. Let's just say that. He's up there in age. And anytime you're in a hospital bed when you're that age for any period of time, that's tough because it hurts your blood flow because you're not moving, and he can't move because he can't breathe, and like he can't do any kind of activity because he can't breathe. But when you're what do you call it, stationary, I guess, when you're not moving around, like if you're just a couch potato, even people with office jobs though, it's kind of a risk for them. um, you want to get moving around. Even if you're taking a walk, you're not really getting cardio necessarily, but you want to move around and get the blood flowing a little bit. It just humans were made to be outside. Humans are made to be active. um, and with the technology, it kind of encourages us to be less active. Although I don't know how many of the viewers watch this channel like while they're taking a walk, or they're listening on the audio like they're listening to the audio, not necessarily watching the video. Um, I mean, I listen to podcasts when I'm driving, so it's entirely possible. But I don't know how many people actually sit at their computer and watch stuff or on their smart TV. um, just to watch John the Son of Thunder on the smart TV. That's kind of funny. But no, I mean our culture is really driven, I guess, towards TV, watching TV, Netflix, whatever streaming service you use, and yeah, I heard that Netflix claimed that their competitor was sleep, but even sports can be kind of consuming. But anyway, that's very much off tangent, very much a tangent. But certainly his hospital stay is not beneficial for him. He wasn't able. He was pretty immobile to begin with before his hospital stay, and that's only going to make it worse. So, and who knows his condition? I mean, the Vatican says he's improving slightly, but what does that mean? It just means they're getting tired of reporting on his condition, and when they say he's alternating between rest and prayer, that means that he's just laying in a hospital bed. So, we'll see what happens. I think that many people expected the worst, and right now it's not. I mean, he's hanging around, maybe. I mean, we can't really rely on the Vatican to give us accurate information. And I heard it's been said that the death of a pope is announced 3 days after his death. So, I don't know if that's true. I don't know. There's not a lot that I know about that. Ooh, I do have one more piece of information because you guys watched till the end. Um, so about that FSSP apostolic visitation. So I said it was probably for the seminary in, was it Germany? I think they have a seminary in Germany, somewhere in that region, and the Vatican was visiting that. But apparently they came to the United States and visited a parish. I don't know. Like the Vatican, the Vatican henchmen, I guess you would say, came and visited a parish in the United States, the FSSP parish. I don't know if they were headed to the seminary. I don't know. I don't know if they visited other parishes. I would guess yes. If they're visiting one, they'll probably visit more. But I do have that bit of information to share with you. So that's all. But that's all I have. I didn't think they were coming to the United States, and they did. So we'll see what happens. And if we have a new pope shortly, then it's possible that nothing will come of this visitation. It will be a waste of everyone's time, which is, certainly what you hope for. So, if I don't expect I will have more information on that until it's actually public. So, yeah, I don't expect to get any more information, but that was interesting that I was able to find that out. So, that's all I have for you today. Until next time, thank you so much for watching. This has been EVTN News. We are the laity, and we will not be silent.